Hey, listeners of the First Draft Club, and hey, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome to season 8 of the First Draft Club. The podcast is back, and we're going to be talking about a lot of fun, interesting, I hope helpful stuff this season. So thank you for joining me. And today I want to talk about something that is kind of exploding the writing and publishing world right now, at least in our little tiny corner of the universe. The blacklist has just expanded to include fiction submissions. If you don't know what the blacklist is, don't worry. I'm going to tell you what it is. But it's an exciting development. And in this episode, I'm going to walk through exactly first what the blacklist is, why it's been such a big deal in Hollywood, where it has existed for a number of years, and why I think it could be a really valuable tool for novelists who are looking for publication, who are looking for literary representation and for a publisher. I'm going to talk about how much it costs. I'm going to talk about, what you get for your money, whether it's valuable or not, and just give you my real honest take on all of it. So let's go. First, I want to make sure everybody knows what the blacklist is. So until 2 months ago, the blacklist was something that you probably only knew about if you were in the TV film industry, because it started in 2005 as an annual survey to feature the best unproduced screenplays being written today, and sort of this democratization of the screenplay to production pipeline. In 2012, so a while back, they took this a step further and created this kind of online platform where screenwriters can share their work directly with people in the industry. So it totally kind of flattened the kind of hierarchy of getting your material, your writing, seen by the industry professionals who have the power to make it happen. It's been really successful. So just to pull a couple of stats here, now in 2024, they have had over 3,500 scripts considered by more than 5,000 film industry professionals who apparently have joined the blacklist. Everyone from agency assistants to actors, A-list actors reviewing scripts, because of course they have the power to bring material they're interested in to a team. And again, it's work. So the blacklist reports that over 400 blacklist scripts have been produced. They collectively have earned over $26 billion in the box office. They've won 53 Academy Awards and 262 nominations, including 4 of the last 10 Best Picture auctions, which is crazy to me. That last one was kind of mind-blowing to me. So this really has been a massive disruption in a good way in the TV film industry. Well, as of this fall, September 2024, they have brought the model to novels. Okay, so that is only about 8 weeks ago as I am recording this. Now, before I get into my opinion on it and why I was actually skeptical that fiction and publishing needed this at first, and why I changed my mind, I'm going to break down exactly how the blacklist works so that you know what we're talking about. Okay, so it's a website. You go there. You make an account, and then you have 2 options, okay? You can either just describe your manuscript, or you can actually host it. To save you some time, I'll go ahead and say hosting is really the only thing that makes sense, because otherwise I don't know why you're there. It's basically like creating a profile that no one is going to have a reason to visit if you don't host it there. Hosting it there is how you get ranked. It's how you submit for evaluations. And these are going to be the 2 main benefits of being on the blacklist, which I'll talk more about shortly. So here's what it costs. It is $30 a month to host your work, and it is $150 if you want a professional evaluation of the first 100 pages of your novel. To be clear, right now, this is only for novelists. Now, it is for novelists across genres, but if you're writing nonfiction or memoir, that is, you can tune out. Go listen to a different episode. There are a couple of ways to reduce these prices, though. If you are a member of the Authors Guild, you can get a 20% discount on everything. So both on that $30 a month hosting fee and on your $150 that you would spend per evaluation. I went ahead and did this math for you. An emerging writer membership in the Authors Guild is $100 a year, and you don't have to be published to qualify for that membership level. So if we do that math, that comes to $8.30 a month, which is more than you would save on hosting. Okay, so with the 20% discount on $30, that's about $6 a month you're going to save. But it does pay for itself and saves you money if you purchase 4 or more evaluations from the blacklist at $150 each. It'll save you more than what you'll pay for your Authors Guild membership. And I think the evaluations are a big draw and reason for joining, which I will talk more about in a moment. Here's just last point on the cost. Here's where it also gets kind of cool. They've built in a kind of positive feedback loop where if people evaluating your work rank it 8 or higher, so it's a scale of 1 to 10, if you get an 8, 9, or 10, your next 2 evaluations are free. And then if those are 8s or higher, your next 2 are free, and that just keeps going. But also, if this lands you, if your high evaluations, your high rankings land you in the top 3% of manuscripts, your hosting is also free. Because so that $30 a month becomes $0, because they want to, they want the site to be full of really high quality work that is unrepresented and unpublished. Now, let me talk about why I was skeptical at first and why I have changed my mind. So quick story, a few years ago, a friend of mine, a fellow novelist, and I wrote a TV pilot. We thought it would be super fun. We had an idea for it. And we worked together on this pilot. We learned how to write a pilot. We learned how to write a story pitch, all this stuff. We thought, hey, we know how to get agents. We've both done this in the book publishing world. We'll just do what we did there and cold email people, and they will see how brilliant our TV premise is. I mean, it was a really fun show. It was about debutantes. Maybe one day it'll still get produced after I put it on the blacklist. But the point for today's episode is that we were wrong. Okay. Hollywood, it turned out, was not like book publishing. Hollywood was much more about who you know. Book publishing relatively is beautifully democratic. I tell the writers that I work with in the book incubator all the time that you don't need personal introduction to agent. You don't. It doesn't matter. I've had personal introductions to agents. I've given personal introductions to agents. That's not what gets you an agent. You just need a great book. Everyone I know, every single person I know who is a publishing author, and I know a lot of them, got their agent through cold outreach. All of them. Whether it was a cold email, which is 99%, or in one case, someone met her agent at a writer's conference. But it was not a personal introduction. And it still works this way in publishing. And I love that about publishing. And so when the blacklist announced that they were expanding to fiction, I thought, oh no, they don't know that we don't need this. We already get to reach out to people cold and do. That's how it works. But I changed my mind. So here's why. In order to explain why I changed my mind and what the blacklist, I think, really offers to aspiring novelists or novelists who are aspiring to get published, I need to walk you through what querying typically looks like. So here's how querying a literary agent works. You send out your first batch of queries, which could be 1, it could be 5. I don't recommend you mass emailing anyone. I don't think that's a good strategy, but it's a handful at tops. Let's say that, right? Then you wait. Most agents are going to tell you, it's going to be at least 6 weeks. Some say it's going to be 12 weeks. Some say it's going to be 4 months. So it's not a short time frame. Literary agents get hundreds and hundreds of pitches a week. like I said, because it's democratic and because this is an awesome thing about the publishing industry, you can show up in their inbox, you who don't know them and don't have any connections. We all get to do it. But that also means we have to wait because they have a lot of material to go through. So some agents have so much material to go through, they will just never reply to you unless they are interested. You will be ghosted. I will say in my experience, that's about half. That's about half of the ones who people query. Other agents will send you a form rejection. That form rejection could come after 6 weeks. It could come after 12 weeks. It could come after 2 years. Maybe after 2 months or so, an agent says, really loved these first 10 pages that you sent. I would love to see the full, meaning they're requesting your full manuscript. This is very exciting. Okay, you send the full manuscript, but now you get to wait another 3 months while they go through their stack of full manuscripts that they're currently reading. If you're lucky, you will get a few sentences of feedback when they get back to you. Now, if you're super lucky, they're going to sign you, right? But like most of the time, that's not going to happen. Rejection is just baked into this process. You're going to get no's. And when you get these no's, even at this point, it might be a template rejection. But often, if they do read the full, they're willing to give you at least a line or two of feedback. If you're super lucky, they'll give you a full paragraph or two of why they're passing. Meanwhile, months have gone by and you're sort of in limbo wondering what you should be doing. Should you be revising? But revising what? Maybe the book's good enough. If it does get picked up and sold to a publishing house, then you're going to start working with your editor on it. And so like in that way, it's like, do I revise now or do I wait until I'm working with an editor? Like, do you query more agents? Like, you feel kind of powerless. You just aren't sure what to do or how to be spending your time. Like you don't know if your book is going to need major surgery or just like a little bit of Advil. So this is where my excitement about the blacklist comes in. Yes, it can get you, in front of agents, but since I think you can already get in front of agents, like, okay, I don't know that I need to pay for that. So the real value, I think, is in short-circuiting that whole super long, lengthy feedback process. Basically, it can save you a lot of time and uncertainty. And to me, as a writer, and I think to many novelists I know, that is super valuable. Okay, so let's do some math. Say you want 4 evaluations. And the way it works is there's a drop down. Like you don't have to do one evaluation at a time. You can just purchase a handful of them from various industry professionals at the same time. I think it's worth mentioning that their evaluators, I heard on a podcast, that an interview that the head of the fiction department did, Randy is his name, that their evaluators have to have experience in traditional publishing. They have to actually be publishing professionals. This is something that really matters to me. I would not be recommending these evaluations otherwise. In my own program, the Book Incubator, we require all of our editors, we only have 3, but to have professional publishing experience. Our most recent hire was the acquiring editor at Penguin Random House for over a decade, for example. Like these are the people you want giving you feedback, not randos. So according to Randy at the Blacklist, these evaluators are all vetted publishing professionals. Back to the math. So say you want 4 evaluations to get a really solid consensus, and to make that Authors Guild membership worth it if you go that way. Without your discount, that's going to be $600 for the evaluations plus $30 a month for hosting, okay? But if you do the Authors Guild thing, it's going to be $480 for evaluations and then $24 for hosting. Add in your $100 Authors Guild membership and your total is $604. The Guild membership, by the way, does have value on its own. I mean, I'm not going to get into that here. You can look that up and see what all the the benefits are. But from my just kind of cursory review, I saw that they do legal review of publishing contracts for free. You get discounts on lots of other writing stuff. So, it's worth mentioning that $100 will, in theory, get you some benefits outside of the blacklist as well. So you have now spent around $600 either way on these 4 evaluations from publishing professionals that you maybe wait a few weeks for as opposed to 9 months. Then there's the fact that if you get an 8 out of 10 on your evaluations, right, you're going to get more for free, and you're going to get free hosting. And you're going to be featured on the site as some of the top rated manuscripts, which means you will get attention from industry professionals joining the site, like literary agents who are looking for exciting books that they want to represent. I think this is a pretty cool opportunity right now, especially when they've just launched fiction. And so there aren't many manuscripts up there yet, right? Like, this is the time to get in. This is like investing in Bitcoin early or something. I say as someone who knows nothing about Bitcoin investing. They could actually, like, it just seems like this would be the time when you could absolutely catch some attention, like if you're uploading a solid manuscript. Now, of course, your manuscript needs to be good, okay? But it seems like a pretty cool opportunity for early adopters. In sum, is it worth it to join the blacklist as a novelist? My take is that if you are serious about getting published and you want professional feedback faster than the traditional querying process, yes, I think the money you spend could save you months of time. And if your book ends up being among the top rated manuscripts on the site, that visibility could be what you need. It could be the way you land your agent, especially right now when they're just getting started with fiction. That's all for this episode. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode of The First Draft Club.